YouTube. Going live here on Cornerman Conversations. Okay, so an email that goes out with the Man Live on Tuesdays. And for you new guys, particularly new subscribers on YouTube and new men that have come into the Man Live Men's Advice group, welcome. And, it's like anything. The more you get involved, the more you're going to get out of it. And there's a range of different options, the way you can participate, get involved, etc. And I'll talk about them a bit later. Or you can also sit back, watch, and do nothing. And you can do that. But guaranteed, minimum will happen, okay? So, hey, I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. So I'm hoping as you get followed for a little while, you'll see, hey, this is good. This is not so good for me. So, let me think. Always remember to put my glasses on. So, on this email that went out earlier in the week, just regarding, this time of the year, me and the team have been pushing some stuff out, like on podcasts and obviously on the YouTube and stuff, just to help men maybe going through divorce or certain challenges, changes in their family, etc. Might be approaching Christmas, but this today is more, I suppose, for every man. So if you've got a set of nuts, this is for you, okay? And really, this is going to be about, for me, it's always about this time of the year is always about preparation for next year. And I always refer everything back to boxing. And that's a language that I understand, and I don't know how, but because I actually have people help me write the email. I talk it and they write it, and it seems to work really well. But I noticed in the email this week it said I had 10 fights in 10 weeks. That's not what happened. I don't know what happened there. There was a time I had 8 fights in 7 weeks, and I remember at the end of that, I was exhausted. I was exhausted, man. Every Friday night, and that last week it was like Friday, Saturday night, and I was toast. But also I learned as fighting as a professional, you start fighting 4-rounders, 6-rounders, 8, 12, So, and I don't know what sort of a year you've had. Whether you've had a bunch of 3-round fights where they're intense but they're over quick, or whether it's been a longer fight, a longer preparation, a longer journey, just a harder fight. So I don't know what sort of year you've had, what sort of battles you've fought. But what I've learned is, depending on how hard, like for example, I remember when I was a young fella, as a teenager, I could fight and literally fight a 3-rounder and recover within a couple of days, even with a taper down, maybe 4 or 5 days, and I was jumping out of my skin. And then I remember when I was in my 30s, I fought up until I was 34. I remember those last 2 years. So I thought, look, I would literally need, obviously they were longer fights, but I would need a longer taper down. Okay, I would need like a 2.5, 3 week taper down, to then get ready for a massive exertion over 12 rounds. But then after a fight like that, I need a month to recover. So I'm just sort of giving this examples so that you can kind of analyze how has your year actually been. What sort of a wind down, what sort of a rest do you need? I remember years ago looking at this different data on that psychologists and psychiatrists had out, and what causes people to burn out. And I remember there was a chart. I don't remember the numbers, but I remember them saying, like, say, for example, your capacity is 100 points. Well, see, if you have a change of job, change of environment, that could be 20 points. So you could move house, that's another 20 points. You could have a death. There could be a death in your family, a suicide. Man, that could be 70 points. So you only have certain amount of reserves in you. And if you go over that, well, then you really run the risk of burnout. And I think, you know, with my years of helping men, my own personal journey, my honest opinion is that most men are operating on the verge of burnout. They just sort of going through the motions. Hence, a lot of men don't have the oomph, the gusto to take themselves to the next level. So this one, so really, you know, this. So I want to say this. So what actually gives you rest? Because my experience is a lot of men don't actually know what actually revitalizes their spirit, their soul, their energy. They don't even know. You know, quite often I hear blokes say, "Oh yeah, I'm having a holiday, and they're doing this trip and they're doing that trip, and they're, you know, they're getting drunk here, they're getting drunk there. They get back from the so-called holiday and go, I need a holiday from the holiday." So I'm saying this to just say, what is it that you need? You know, you've got a choice. You know, you've got a. So what I'd love, particularly in the comments, I'd love, you know, just to start commenting what actually gives you rest. What do you actually do that gives you rest? And for the longest time, and particularly this year, like I'm getting, yeah, hands on where I'm at now. I've had a massive year, although it may, man, it's been an amazing year. You know, I shifted my family to another country. Yeah, a lot of points there. I don't know how many. You know, we're in obviously a different culture, different language. Kids are going to different school. You know, we're mingling with different people. Like there's a lot of points. You know, although you know I started a new inner circle program where men are traveling overseas to have a 5 days in person. Man, that pouring everything. I mean, even talking, I'm getting sidetracked here, but even talking to Daniel after spending 5 days here in Gozo with me, he's gone back and he's revitalized some things that he wanted to do for 16 years, and he's taken action. He's actually taken action on it, and all of a sudden he started 2 businesses. So that are aligned with each other. They complement each other. So like, I mean, there's a lot of obviously time, energy that goes into that. You know, I've created another program, the Man Challenge for every bloke. Every bloke can do it. You know, that there's energy that goes into that. There's time, etc. So, gentlemen, what will actually give you rest? Because as I'm going along, and each year is different. You know, my thing is that what worked last year, that's great. Let's improve it. So I'm always on the growth track. You know, which I think every man should be. But I'd love to hear in the comments what gives you rest, because a good portion of my week, what I do is I actually switch social media, my phone off, the laptop. I just get rid of all that stuff and go for slow walks. Sometimes I'm walking so slow, I stop and sit down. Sometimes I'm listening. Maybe I'm an audio booker, so sometimes I'll have certain books that I will read. You know, that give me rest, that fill me up. I'll talk with, you know, men that are coaching and helping me. You know, they can see, like this cornerman, they can see things I can't. That renews my vision, my strength. So leave a comment, gentlemen. I'd love to know what does it for you. You know, I think it's a good conversation to have. You know, and really, this is something to think about as well. What, like I said before, what sort of a 2024, what sort of a battle has it been? Do you need like an amateur fight? Do you need 3-4 day rest and then you're good to go again, or do you need a month? You know, like, and what I'm saying is, man, if you don't schedule this in, it will not happen. And the worst thing that I believe a man can do is start the next fight, start the next year, start the next race tired. You know, it's the most important thing I believe a man can do. You know, I set my own family, you know, when I come from a place I've rested, you know, visions, you know, in restored, enhanced. I look at things from a better position. I'm a better father. I'm a better husband. You know, I'm a better leader, not just for my business, not just for myself, for everyone who comes in contact with me. So, gentlemen, there's some action. I started to give you some tasks, some actions. So this is what I would do. This is what I've done a little reel before, the other day actually. This is what I'd suggest if you're coming from a place of where I don't know what to do, Gav, or how to rest. Okay, well, everything's gone exceptionally well, but I know I need to pull back. Whereas, first thing I would suggest is plan out some time each day over the period. You know, we put out some great videos on preparing for Christmas, prior Christmas. You know, get on YouTube, you'll see that. Avoiding mistakes as well if you're a single dad, and there's more things coming out. Okay, there's a great interview with Mike Barrett about about addiction and so forth. I mean, there's so much stuff, and there's more coming. All right, so there's no lack of learning. Okay, there's no lack of things that you can do, but this is what I would suggest. Yeah, and this will put you in a great position. I would suggest read my Rite of Passage for the Modern Man. If you don't know what to do, where to start, Rite of Passage for the Modern Man. Okay, and you know, if you jump in that group, I'll give that to you complimentary. The team will get that to you. Look out for the email. It's a short book. 40 minutes. I designed it that way so men would read it again and again. Okay. So then I've got that Man Live ebook. It's a short passage and a small action each day for 21 days. Okay. So you can 5 minutes a day and it'll put you in a different position mentally. Okay. You do that for 21 days. And on the 27th of January, I'm doing the next 5-day man challenge. So last one was amazing. Oh, man, it was life changing for some of the men. It was great. Obviously, like anything, the more you put in, the more you get out. So the men who turned up for the 5 days, 1 hour a day, boom, got a whole new perspective. So I could tell you a heap of stories about that. So, gentlemen, but hey, listen, Merry Christmas. Have a great Christmas. If I could say one thing, men, plan it. And if you're single, don't plan to not be on your own. You know, I've shared with Ryan Hall, a man in our mentorship program, is facing his first Christmas, with his family dynamics, his wife and him split up. House has been sold. Everything's changed. So he's been able to do some great things to help others and support others, and obviously it's making his situation better. So, men, there's a lot of content we're putting out. Dig into it, leave comments, let me know you've seen it. I love to go through and read the comments, and I don't know, man, don't be alone. Reach out, make sure you're not around negative people, and if you are, keep it for a really short space of time and move on. So, gentlemen, over and out.